Well, in which could be Eric Ten Hag's game of Manchester United. Manchester United is going to be playing at Wembley in the FA Cup final against the side called Man City there for you. And we're here to obviously bring you a little bit of a snippet of a preview on how we think Manchester United should line up, on how to obviously find themselves winning against Man City, or making it hard for Man City to obviously find it an easy way to obviously win against Manchester United. It's the 25th of May 2024, and we all know that it's all happening down at the at the Wembley Stadium, 90,000 capacity seater, meaning that 40,000 fans for the club of Manchester United, 40,000 fans for the club of Man City, and maybe 10,000 will be neutrals who really want to watch this game of football into the mix. Rock and David is my name, and hope you guys are really having fun. We're here to do this. I was on Rokan Media Football premiering a certain video, and there is one of our regulars who obviously follows me up on both channels, and he came through and asked Rokani, how come you haven't gone ahead to put in a preview? And he had forgotten that maybe time was not my best ally. I was caught up with the effect from yesterday, and you know how we do it. We always put it up. We're talking about the match day preview 2 days to the game, meaning that it was supposed to come in through on a Thursday, and we obviously got caught up. So all I want to let you know is simple that we've gone ahead to break it down a little bit as we prepare for that game of football. We thank God for the gift of life, the Muslims, Barakallahu fikum, and may the living to God bless you abundantly. Now, on the side of Man City, they have only one injury. You get? They have only one injury, and that is Ederson Molar is the goalkeeper, meaning that Ortega is gonna be in between the stitches for the club of Man City today. So that is a given. Ederson is the only player out, but the rest of the players are really coming in through to do the needful. Oh, David Sozi, we are waiting for the preview. Here it is, and it's good that I'm really doing it live onto this channel now. For Manchester United, we are having a couple of players injured. Harry Maguire is out of the race. Luke Shaw is out of the race. Lisandro Martinez is out. Anton Martial was not spotted traveling with the team. But the rest of the players are readily available, meaning that at least we're really having a squad that can come in through and really compete with the side of City. And I think for the two games we're going to hit play against Man City, we were nowhere near at least having our squad there like this one. If you are having Luke Shaw, Tyrell Malacia, Harry Maguire, and Anton Martial as the only unavailable players in the game like this against City, I think it gives you a very huge go into this beautiful tie that Manchester United is going to be playing at Wembley. Not so? Now, we've gone ahead to get an update of players of Manchester United that really arrived in London. Onana, Atil Bendeir, Hiton, Dallo, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Varane, Lisandro Martinez, Evans, Kambuala, Lindelof, Casemiro, Kobe Mainoo, Ericsson, McTominay, Amrabat, Mason Mount, Bruno Fernandes, Amadi Diallo, Anthony, Garnacho, Rashford, and Rasmus Højlund. That is the squad of United that went ahead to arrive in London as they prepare to take on the side of Man City, meaning that Manchester United is always having all its side fit. And I think that squad of Man United, if they follow the orders of the manager, they can really give Man City a hard time. Though we come into this game of football and Man City are real favorites, but there is no way you downplay the side of Manchester United, I tell you, because a final is a final. A game can go either way. And we've gone ahead to see to it that in the previous games that Manchester United has gone ahead to play against Man City, it has been just Erik ten Hag lacking a little bit of quality onto his bench. If you remember that game that we played at Etihad that ended 3-1, it was 1-0 for 56 minutes. You understand? And when people started to get injured, that's how things went ahead to turn out into the worst form of it all. And Ten Hag really lacked quality. But right now, Ten Hag is going to be having quality on the pitch and on the bench. And I think we'll be having a better master plan to obviously coming through to put in a very huge shift to see to it that everything goes on as planned for the side of Manchester United. So, Erik ten Hag wants to win the FA Cup, playing in the semi-cup final, playing in the final for the second time in a row against the same team, and we lost to them by 2-1 1 year back. Now we come into this and we are really facing a side that is really the best in the league. That is it. Like them or hate them, Man City are the best side into the Premier League, and you will not really get that from them. You have to give them their flowers because they deserve them as the side of Man City. Now, when you look at the game plan of Man City, obviously they're going to be having the lion's share of the possession, and one of the embargoed interviews I've gone ahead to see Erik ten Hag do, he went ahead and confirmed to us that it's really going to be hard for them to come out and really dominate, meaning that United will be playing out of possession a lot, and Man City will obviously try to really chase. Man City will be having the lion's share of the possession, and United will have to play when they're not having possession in a do-or-die game. And when you look at all those players that are going to be or that have been in that squad, most of them might not be here next season, and the manager, they might be playing the last game for Erik ten Hag. And for me, I'm seeing this as a charge that is really going to spark off these players to obviously give the manager a very good farewell as a manager of Manchester United. And I tell you what, if he wins it and he gets sacked, I think he'll walk out with his head high as a manager of Manchester United, because he has been working through lots of things. And in my next video, I'm going to come out and explain to you what Erik ten Hag had to fight to obviously see to it that he stabilizes Manchester United. And the hugest nail in his coffin was all about the injuries. 60 plus injuries this season, and no manager can obviously operate at that level. I've gone ahead to see Pep Guardiola coming out and saying that Erik ten Hag is a very good manager. That is it. Pep Guardiola has come out and said Erik ten Hag is a very good manager. And I tell you, in the managerial world, Erik ten Hag is respected by all the top coaches because they know what he is and what his style of play is and how good he is when it comes to improving youngsters. And Ineos has to obviously look through a little bit before they make such stupid decisions, obviously coming in through to go for the manager Erik ten Hag. But some players might not be here, like Casemiro, Amrabat, Varane, Maguire, Eriksson, you talk of Lindelof, Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Some of those players might be playing their last game today for the club of Manchester United, and I don't know how the board is going to deal with it. But how United is going to behave is going to depend on how they obviously put in what we call a huge shift into sacking or keeping Erik ten Hag. The first move they're going to make is after this final is to show us who is going to be the manager of Manchester United and who is not going to be the manager of Manchester United. For Manchester United, the last game we played was against Brighton away. We won by 2-0. Rasmus Højlund came off the bench and scored. Diego Dallo put us ahead in the 67th minute. For Man City, they defeated West Ham by 3-1 in a game that saw them really win what we call a Premier League for the fourth time in a row, breaking the record for the club of Manchester United, as it was the only team that had ever gone ahead to win 3 trophies in a row. But for us, we've gone ahead to do it twice, and Man City have only gone ahead to do it once. And I don't know whether they are going to continue doing that, but we hope and see how that really pans out. Let's go to the predicted starting 11 for the club of Manchester United, that me as Rokan and the team of Unit Matters channel believe that if it's brought up, it's going to really be a very hard side for Man City to break. System 4-2-3-1, we all know that it's the well-desired system for Erik ten Hag, as he has been here for that long. Now, who do we think is going to start in goal? For my case, I think it's going to be Andre Onana, no doubt about that. He has looked good into the end of the season, but I tell you, if Erik ten Hag is to be sacked, some of his players he signed are going to be responsible for his sacking. For example, this guy, Andre Onana in the Champions League, Manchester United were out because of him. Why? United would have gone ahead to get a point from Bayern Munich. That's 1 point. United would have gone ahead to win against Galatasaray if he never went ahead to make those stupid mistakes that he really did make. Away at Galatasaray, Manchester United would have gone ahead to win 3 points, if at all. He never let into stupid free kicks go in over Kimi Ziyech. So, Onana alone costed us how many points? 3, 2, 6. 6 points, and Manchester United had only gathered, I think, because we got 1 win, drew with Galatasaray. I think we had only 4 points. If at all we had those 6 on, we would have gone ahead to have 10, taking us into the round of 16. And that is how ugly the side of United looked because of Andre Onana, the decision that really made. And it's an Eric Ten Hag decision that went ahead to fire back. So to backfire. So wait and see how that pans out. But I believe that all in all, injuries played a very huge part into our season. But Andre Onana comes into this game of football, and we know how important he's gonna be in this game of football because of his ball possessing capabilities and his passing range, and how Pep Guardiola says that when they're going to play a team that has Andre Onana, they have to obviously analyze the goalkeeper because he believes he's the most press-resistant goalkeeper alive. That is the manager of Man City. Right back, I think it's gonna be Aaron Wan-Bissaka. It's gonna be Aaron Wan-Bissaka on the right back position for the club of Manchester United. According to me, it's gonna be him, and it has to be him, right? So after that, we have to get in the left back. I think it's gonna be Diego Dallo there for you, but the manager can decide to play Dallo on the right or Bissaka on the left, depending on what decision the manager will be making towards this beautiful game of football. So after that, we are having the right-sided centre back. It's gonna be having none other than Rafael Varane in the mix. That is it. He's back. I think he's going to be playing his last game for the club of Manchester United. For him, he has already gone ahead to really bid his farewell to the club of Manchester United when you're playing against Newcastle. That game ended 3-2 in favor of Manchester United. Left-sided centre-back Lisandro Martinez will come into the mix to do the needful to see to it that all goes the way for the club of Manchester United. That is the back four for the club of Manchester United. I believe Ten Hag is really going to flaunt into the mix. Now, let's see who is going to be playing in the midfield, because this is where Man City cooks all its attempts to obviously destroy a team. For me, I'll go for this double pivot of Casemiro and Amrabat. That is it. I'll go for that double pivot of Casemiro and Amrabat. I've seen reports being put out that this guy is not going to really be having a go into the side of Manchester United. I've gone ahead to see reports reporting so. And Casemiro is going to be benched. But in a game of this caliber and magnitude, you don't open up your midfield like that. You have to have Casemiro and Amrabat in that midfield to run, and people will be asking, where is Kobe Mainoo going to be playing? I would play Kobe Mainoo here as a central attacking midfielder, because in a game like this, all you need is to be very compact into the midfield and your defense. I tell you, Lisandro Martinez and Varane have one of the best combinations, and they complement each other well, and they'll obviously get you exactly what you want in a game. So in so doing, you don't need to obviously keep that midfield open. And you saw it when you're playing against Newcastle and playing against, I think, Brighton. When Bruno Fernandes is put back to play as a number 10, you saw you see that corridor left of space that our opponent can really utilize. When Scott McTominay was playing there, that means we are having an extra player to really play as a third midfield and really join Casemiro and Kobe Mainoo into that midfield. So I would love to see to it that we have Amrabat and Casemiro into that double pivot, and Kobe Mainoo to be played in there for you. The question is, where is this guy gonna play? That is Bruno Fernandes. I'm 100% sure you can play him onto the right attacking side of the midfield, because he can really keep discipline, because he knows that he has to track back and help Aaron Wan-Bissaka. You get? That is. So I think he has to run back and help this guy, Aaron Wan-Bissaka. On the left, I'll obviously have Alejandro Garnacho in the mix to obviously come in through and do the needful. Then, leading the line, I think he has been benched for the previous 2 games. I don't know whether the manager was waiting for this game of football to obviously get him on. Rasmus Højlund leading the line. In his previous 2 Premier League games, he has gone ahead to get himself a goal in each. He scored the 3rd goal against Newcastle, and he scored the 2nd goal. Sorry about that. He scored the 2nd goal against Brighton and took his tally to 10 Premier League goals. And if I told you coming through and really getting 10 Premier League goals, that is really great for a striker who has been playing for this side that couldn't obviously create him chances every time he needed them. Now, when you look at that team, you can as well say he can put Kobe Mainoo, Amrabat in the double. Sorry, Kobe Mainoo, Amrabat in the double pivot, or Kobe Mainoo and Casemiro in the double pivot. Then Amadi Diallo onto the right attacking third midfield. Bruno takes the center stage into the number 10 role, and Garnacho onto the left attacking side of the midfield. But I would prefer that lineup. I've given you my reasons, because Man City is not going to come in easy. For Man City, I think it's going to be Ortega, Kyle Walker, Jesco Vadio, John Stones, Ruben Diaz. Then Rodri. They'll have a Kevin De Bruyne in the midfield, and I think Bernardo Silva. Then the front 3 is going to be comprising of Jack Grealish off the left, Phil Foden off the right, and Haaland to lead the line of Man City. Now, when you look at that side, that means Aaron Wan-Bissaka is going to be facing this deadly man known as Jack Grealish or Jeremy Doku, and I think he can stop them, though recently his form has been really very bad. If you watch the games Bissaka has been playing, he has been really looking horrible, Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Then Dahelo is going to be facing Phil Foden, Rafael Varane and Lisandro Martinez are going to be facing Haaland. Not the first time they are facing him, and they're really well conversant of him. But Ten Hag knows how to cut off supply for Haaland. If you really stop service, from Kevin De Bruyne, sorry about that, I'm really stretching a little bit. If you deny him service, then the rest will be history, right? The rest will be history. You have to cut off that supply. And I think we had done that very well when you're playing Man City at the Etihad. You understand? But later, we really lost our grip, and Phil Foden went ahead to really unlock us into a space of like 20 minutes, And then Amrabat gifted Haaland. Gifted the ball to Rodri, and Rodri released the Haaland, and Haaland had to score the 3rd goal. But I think in this fixture, it has to go on to really leave a very beautiful image about the club of Manchester United on how they're really going to be acting. In the midfield, we can really win that. I think we can really put up a fight. Though the quality of Man City is really great, and they've been playing together for a very, very long time. Then Garnacho, Kyle Walker. I think Garnacho needs to really know that I just have to get a proper plan before I run with the ball. He's so fond of running the ball before he obviously gets to know what to use for it, but he has to do that and really improve his end product. In this game like this, you'd love to see Garnacho being perfect in everything he does in the final third of the pitch. The crosses, when he decides to take on players, when he decides to obviously hold the game a little bit, all of that is going to be important, you know. And Amad Diallo is really one of those that you believe is going to be one of the heroes into this game of football. And even Rasmus Højlund, he has gone ahead to create a very good relationship with Bruno Fernandes, because Bruno gave him an assist, by the way, when he was playing against Newcastle. The assist came through from Bruno Fernandes. So wait and see how that pans out. For Kobbie Mainoo, these are kind of games he enjoys, because he's going to be playing a side that really has a possession and he knows he can skip past them. Now, Man City can easily be beaten if at all you find ways of really reaching that backside. If you look at the goal that Rashford scored when you're playing against Man City, that has been voted one of the best, that was voted to compete for the goal of the season, though it was taken by, I think it's going to be taken by Alejandro Garnacho's goal against Everton. This guy put up a very huge show. The show was really huge, and he put in a very good strike, thunderous, and it was really on point. Now, when you look at how that goal was scored, it was what we call the over-top ball to find Bruno Fernandes. And then, after it found Bruno Fernandes, Bruno controlled it and played into space to find Marcus Rashford. Rashford instantly hit it in the back of the net. And Bruno is not as strong as Højlund. He's not as tall as Højlund. So, all you have to do is simple. You get in the guy, Rasmus Højlund, to start, though he might not even start. Ten Hag might stick with Bruno Fernandes as a number 10 in that game. But if at all Højlund starts, you go into for that long ball all the time. You spot his run. He'll obviously do that 6 out of 10 times if at all he wins that possession. He's not a selfish striker. He'll obviously play you in, and you will enjoy every beat that will be seeing onto the pitch. So that is Rasmus Højlund for you. And I think that might be the game plan. If it's not a counter, ball over the top, looking for Rasmus Højlund. Rasmus Højlund controls the ball. He finds a Bruno Fernandes, any player around him, and Manchester United will be shooting at goal. That is it. Now, let's go to the stats and see which side lies on the good side of history. You get? Let's obviously get in. Here we come. This match is a repeat of last year's final, FA Cup final, where Manchester United beat Manchester United where Man City beat Man United by 2-1 to complete the second part of their league title, FA Cup and Champions League treble, and FA Cup and USL treble. It's the second time in FA Cup history the same fixture has been played in the final in consecutive years, after Blackburn versus QPR in the 1880s, right? So this is the second time we are playing against Man City, as I told you at the beginning of this video, that we lost to City 2-1. Then, secondly, another fact coming in through from Google as far as this game of football is concerned: Manchester City have won both Premier League meetings with Manchester United this season, beating them 3-0 at Old Trafford and 3-1 at Etihad. The last time they beat their neighbors 3 times in the same campaign was in 1969 to 1970. So, it's really gonna be hard, I tell you. It's really gonna be hard for Manchester United to stop Man City, because we all know the juggernaut that Man City is, so. But will United obviously get beaten 3 times a season by Man City, because it last happened in 1969, 1970. This is what the players should fight for. Then, Manchester United have lost 6 of their last 7 meetings with Manchester City in all competitions, 1 win including each of the last 3 in a row. They last lost 4 consecutively against them between 2023 and 2024, 2013 and 2014. For the club of Manchester United, I think City has gone ahead to really impose their colossal force every time they face us. But I think for Erik ten Hag, he has played Pep Guardiola 5 times. Out of the 5, he has won 1. Are they 5? Yeah. He has won 1 and lost 4. You get? So, Manchester United are really trying their level best to put in a shift that is really well desired, to see to it that they give them the best they deserve. Manchester United have won 5 of their last 7 FA Cup games against Man City. However, both defeats in that run have come in games at Wembley in 2011 semi-finals and the 2023 final. You understand? So, City are really having an edge as they walk into this game of football. But one of the things we should really avoid are the early goals that we consider against City. The last final, in just I think 15 seconds of the start of the game, we also to it that we really lost it. We lost it to the side of City. Ika Gundogan went ahead to hit that ball into the back of the net, and no one could come to our rescue. And we should really avoid that. No early goal frustrates City. I tell you, those early goals frustrate any team, that concedes them. But if at all a team like Man City doesn't score those goals, I tell you, they are going to come out and really put in what we call a threatening phase. When you're playing at Etihad, they really had close to 60,000 fans behind them. 50,000 fans behind them. But this time round, Manchester United is also going to be having 40,000 fans like City is having, meaning that it's not going to be all about fans. It's going to be how these players react when such moments really arise. David Sozi says, good morning, Rokani. Thanks for your updates and time. We are watching you from Dubai. We love you, bro. But for me, I'll be supporting Man City to win 3-0. All right? Thank you for your prediction. You think Man City is going to beat us 3-0? David Sozi, Rokani, your best friend. But I'm sorry to support Man City. In football, you must have a side in order to cry or laugh. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay to obviously come through and take a side. I have no problem with that. But I tell you, you might come out as one of those people that will be regretting, because if these players put into action the tactics of Ten Hag, I think Ten Hag can really make it hard for Man City. Though Man City are the favorites, no worries. Man City are the favorites, and the only way I see United winning this game of football, if we force them into penalties. That is it. If we can keep it at the draw level, go to extra time, after going to extra time, we go to penalties. Though even in the full 90, Manchester United can win it provided we can score goals. Because for Man City, you'll be rest assured that they will score a goal. You understand? And for Manchester United, if you can put like 2 at Man City and really pack the bus a little bit, then we can really cause havoc. And this time round, Ten Hag is having a better bench. If he flaunts that team as you see it there, that means we're having Scott McTominay, Rashford, Anthony, Amad Diallo, Mason Mount. Who else? Mason Mount, Lindelof, Evans onto the bench of Manchester United. So it is really good to say to it that we are really having a good side to face Man City, and these players have to show to it that they should really resurrect our season. If Manchester United doesn't win anything today, then next season there will be no European football. If United wins today, Chelsea will obviously go to what we call the Conference League, and Manchester United will take over their spot into the UEFA Europa League. And I think Europe is paramount for the club of Manchester United because it contributes a little bit to what we call the budget of the club and getting in more and more and more money. Then Abraham is saying, I'm so worried about Ten Hag. I want United to keep Ten Hag next season. Speculation too much. Yeah, speculation is too much, but Ten Hag sounds strong. He went ahead and really issued a statement out that for him he's going to be going on a holiday, and that's his plan. So it's not going to be easy like that. So we wait to see how things pan out in here for you. But we keep running the show. We'll be here later to bring you what we call the match day live, who starts and who doesn't start for the club of Manchester United. Now, Waswa Alan, good morning already. As much as I want Ineos to keep Erik Ten Hag, it's going to depend on how he plays Man City, however much he loses. That's a lie. That's a lie. I tell you, a decision on Erik Ten Hag was already made. It's not all about how we play in the final, because stories are really loitering around that we are really talking to agents. Even Fabrizio Romano is going to hit it on it that United is obviously talking with agents of other managers, meaning that a decision is going to be made that Manchester United is going to sack Erik Ten Hag, because if they're not having plans of sacking Erik Ten Hag, why would they go out and start holding talks with other sides? You understand? So it's like a man who is really going to marry a girl and the plans are on for the wedding, and if at all you believe that the wedding is going to take place, why are you really getting in another woman to see to it that you are also planning a wedding on the same date? Meaning that is an indicator that you've already gone ahead, obviously, shun the other wedding and you want a new partner in your life. That is it. So guys, thank you very much for watching it through. My prediction is a draw, and that game will go in penalties. For me, I believe it's really going to go in penalties. I don't know what your thoughts are about it, but David Soses, thank you for watching in. Ibrahim Izeng, it has been nice catching you here. Waswa Alan, always a pleasure to have you on this channel, and the rest of the rest. Manchester United, I see a 2-2 draw, and then we head to penalties, and whoever wins, God knows. But I see it going to penalties, because these players are really going to try to fight for their salaries, because they know they're going to have a cut off of their salaries for how they don't be in Europe, and I think they have to fight a battle in there for you. And them knowing that maybe Ten Hag is going to be sacked, they might be like, let's obviously find ourselves in a position of really getting into the mode. The manager is going, even if we win, he will leave, so let's win. Zoo TV says David, yes Zoo TV, how are you Zoo TV? You found me when I'm really coming to the start of the end of the video. And guys, good morning. May the living to God bless you abundantly. Rokan David is my name, and this is the United Matters channel. This is the match preview that I've gone ahead to run. Hope you guys enjoy it. See you.